are we? Are we well?
I'm actually thriving.
Okay, incredible.
Yeah, I'm so excited about today.
I'm so excited about this episode. I'm having a slightly toxic 4 p.m. coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go. I'm having a full caffeine coffee late in the afternoon. So we're really playing with fire already in this episode.
I got my decaf coffee and I was like, and for you, Leigh? And he was like, I'll just have a latte. And I was like, will we now? Will we be having a latte?
We will not be sleeping tonight. However,
welcome back.
I think we've all been sleeping on the film we're going to watch this afternoon.
That's true. So welcome back to another very special episode of Queer Gals Watch. We've decided to continue our sabbatical from the West Wing just because life's too scary.
Life's too scary and
things have just been getting a bit too real.
And also I'm having a great time in Hollywood right now.
Yeah, because we've just decided to go to the movies again with a gal pal.
To one of the most batshit depictions of the first family, but we'll get into it.
And it is a politically important film.
It's a politically important film, and that's why we're watching it.
Yes.
Any skeptical listeners. It's as much politics as I can emotionally handle right now. So we are joined today by gorgeous friend of the pod, comedian. You may know her from her stand-up, from her private school mum videos. Everyone loves a posh girly. It's Sophie Garrad, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys. I actually dropped Tilly and Horatio off at school before this. So it's nice to be out. Mum, stay out, hey?
Go, mommy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm a bit upset about the caffeine because Fee did promise me a Coke Zero and then she said, oh, no, we've got none left.
Yeah.
So I'm on the water.
I was so excited to offer like this range of beverages. And then I was like, it's post-lunch.
I also thought you were going to steal one out the fridge and I was like, I feel like that's someone else's Coke Zero. And they were just like, there's one.
Imagine if there was just like a single can
this. Yeah.
with just a note on top being like,
handed it to me.
Ben's can, please do not take. Whip it off, throw it away.
And Sophie, today we are going to be discussing the 2004 classic First Daughter, starring Katie Holmes and Michael Keaton.
For our listeners, that was Michael Keaton. That was the name that Leigh was trying to sort of bark out then.
A film that to me appears to have been written by AI.
That is so true. Wow.
It does feel that way. It also beautifully directed. I can't get over this fact, right? And Leigh keeps on, anytime she brings up this film, I'm like, but are we all across the fact that it was directed by very well-known, amazing, award-winning...
Some would say acclaimed
actor Forrest Whitaker. And this isn't even the first rom-com he's ever directed. And I will leave you with that. Go to the internet and do what you will.
Sophie.
Yeah.
First thoughts, reactions to First Daughter.
I feel like it's the most insane film I've ever watched. Like, ever. And before I watched it, I was like, I'm just going to check what the Rotten Tomatoes score is.
Low.
8%. 8%. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to watch this. I will say, one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know what?
Oh, it captivated me.
I loved it.
I couldn't look away.
I didn't want it to end.
I didn't want to. I can rewatch it again tomorrow. Like, not even joking. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Being speechless, not a great reaction for a podcast.
No. Please save me, Fee, and give us the internet's synopsis of this film.
So the internet described this film as Samantha, the US president's daughter, insists on attending college away from home, where she meets James, a graduate student, and the two fall in love. However, she soon learns about his true identity. Which also kind of feels like not really the main plot of the film, but a big plot of the film. But Sophie, I would much rather know your honest synopsis.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what the main plot of the film was.
No.
Apart from the flirty relationship between the daughter and the dad.
Yes.
That was the only consistent thing throughout the whole film.
The only consistent thing was the fact that we're pretty sure Michael Keaton wanted to fuck Katie Holmes, and it was very uncomfortable for everyone.
I was deeply uncomfy through so many moments.
So many.
Lingering touches.
Oh, the dancing in the kitchen at night.
Where is everyone else? Why are we
Why are
knowing
they
when this
doing
is
this?
happening?
The holding hands. The holding hands.
We're adults.
Not even holding your wife's hand. I don't understand what's happening.
I like famously dancing in a kitchen at night is kind of like, as Beyonce made famous, it's a famously kind of sexual, romantic thing to do. Also, the way in which they were dancing was not like
in a close hold.
It was very close. Yeah, it was.
It was giving, like when you're watching Strictly Come Dancing and they're like, oh, these two people are having an affair.
Yeah.
That's what it was giving.
Oh my God, if they were on Strictly, there would absolutely be affair rumors. For our American listeners, that is Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars, yeah.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, so the film is insane.
Insane.
I did have an amazing time though.
Yeah.
Oh,
other than when Michael Keaton had Katie Holmes in hold, I had an amazing time.
Yeah, and every scene gave me things I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. I actually cannot stop thinking about it.
I've told so many people about this film.
But also so many of the conversations made no sense. I was like, am I just like on a different planet right now?
Well, this is why I feel like it was written by AI. Because the best friend character has no actual individual traits. She is just a rom-com best friend.
We know nothing about her apart from her name.
Nothing.
I don't know what she's studying. I don't know where she's from.
Dare I say it? We know nothing about Samantha either.
Poor Samantha, yeah, the first daughter.
Famously, as her sassy assistant Liz says in one of the opening scenes, I say goodnight, normal, boring girl.
Dude, I missed that bit. That is said in the film.
Yeah, so Katie Holmes goes, why don't people understand that I'm just a normal, boring girl like everybody else? And then her sassy assistant says, I say good night, normal, boring girl. Again, written by AI. The greatest cinematic moment of this film, though, has to be the Joan Rivers cameo.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Where Joan Rivers is just absolutely ripping into the fictional first daughter, Samantha, by saying, looks like she found Chelsea Clinton's old crimping irons and Amy Carter's Sassoons. Like a terrorist got a hold of her.
And
how is that related to crimping irons?
But also, we're in 2004.
Very soon. Too soon.
Too soon, perhaps, to be too soon.
And actually, Katie Holmes in the footage that Joan Rivers is commenting on just has like a very classic kind of 2004 tousled. I would imagine there's been a mousse involved.
Yes, crispy, a little crispy to the touch, perhaps.
100% mousse involved.
You don't see a lot of hair mousse anymore with good reason. It did bizarre things to hair texture.
If you don't have a curly crop,
you don't need
put that mousse down. Put it down.
But also, it starts off so well having Joan in it. I was like, this is gonna be a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'm not saying it wasn't.
And then we never see
like,
Joan Rivers again. The tagline for this movie, iconically, is "The girl who always stood out is finally getting a chance to fit in."
Again, very like the Amanda Bynes quote in
What a Girl Wants.
What a Girl Wants, where he's like, I don't get why you're trying to fit in when you're born to stand out. Clearly, this was a huge part of the cultural zeitgeist in 2003 and 2004 of being girls standing out and fitting in, a paradigm of our time.
That's actually so true because like Princess Diaries, that was the same thing.
Same thing.
But like everyone being like,
girls.
Yeah.
I want to be the same as everyone else, but actually I need to embrace the fact that I'm different and that's what makes me special. I mean, I'm trying to learn that every day. Do you know what I mean? Like here I am. I'm a grown woman.
Yeah.
I'm a grown woman. I still haven't learned this lesson. I need to watch this film again.
Yeah. On repeat.
I also do feel, you may note, Fee, and I do think it's important to touch upon, there's kind of an opening montage of Katie Holmes's life as the first daughter, part of which includes her playing poker with a variety of world leaders.
I also want you to know that this is all narrated by her father, Michael Keaton.
Who is, again, in love with her.
In love with her.
And like most teenagers, she liked parties and she liked pizza.
That is just such a teenager thing.
What
now
I
would be like parties and vapes.
Yeah. And a raspberry ice. Yes. So there's like this whole... So the whole thing has... So there was a point in the writer's room, I think, where they were like, let's write it like a fairy tale. So it'll be like a happily ever after
Yes.
story where it'll be like the princess and she wants to find her prince, but actually it's just like the humble stable boy.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then at some point that draft got lost, but some things remained.
That's so true.
Because we have this opening where like Michael Keaton is like in a land far, far away, in a house that was white.
In a house that was white. I see what you did there, Michael Keaton.
And like we are in the wake of Princess Diaries in this film.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It feels it.
Mia Thermopolis has been and she has changed the world.
This is bargain basement Mia Thermopolis.
It feels like they like sold it in and pitched the idea, and they were like, "Look, think about Princess Diaries but White House," and then they're like, "Great, let's do it." And then I don't even think there was a writer's room. I think it's one person's like, "Blah blah 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 blah." Yeah, that would be fine, done. Because even the end, it's like not to say what the ending is yet, but it's like, okay, that's the end of the movie. Like even the elder, it's just like that's over, and I'm like, well, we didn't get any closure on anything.
Yeah, like the credits were rolling, and I was like, "But wait,
what happened?
you can't leave me like this." So we've touched on it, the sexual tension between Katie and Michael, and I think we should get into it. So it's night. We're in the White House, and Katie Holmes is just wandering through the halls of the White House in like some pale blue pajamas and like a little dressing gown. She goes down to like the White House kitchens and just finds a perfect slice of chocolate cake, which so begins a weird kind of like significance of chocolate cake slices. And then she gets out 2 forks and like puts one on the countertop.
That in itself.
Why does your dad know that you're awake? Why is your dad following you down to the kitchen?
Right?
Why is your dad
Why are you sharing cake with your dad?
Why are you sharing cake with your dad? Why is he then he kisses her, I think, 3 separate times in that scene. And there's something really uncomfortable about a forehead kiss sometimes.
No, inappropriate.
I just don't understand why Michael Keaton wasn't pulled aside to be like, it's reading sexual. I
think so many films, though, when you watch them, especially back then, the relationship between the parents and the kids always feels a bit sexual. And I think it's because they don't know how to act.
Full stop.
I think that's the crux of it.
I just think that neither of them know how to act. I think the problem is that I think Michael Keaton met Katie Holmes, who apparently is like a very lovely, vivacious young woman.
Can imagine.
fresh out of 90210.
Yeah, and was like
Was she on
the
90210?
OG
100%,
90210.
yeah.
Oh my God, I would love.
Did I watch? There's an OG one. I watched 90210.
Oh, I watched 90210, the remakes.
Let me just
really?
that were on E4. Did you watch
Back
those?
in the day when I was like, I would have been out at 16.
Yeah.
So would that have been the original remakes?
Remake.
Remakes, okay.
They were wild. That TV show was
Really?
wild.
I loved it.
It was amazing. So Katie Holmes is like fresh off 90210, this gorgeous young woman, and I just think Michael Keaton is like, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
So she must be attracted to me.
I think she was though.
What's
I
the
felt
age
like
gap?
there was something going on there.
Lee's grimacing. What's the age?
I'm just trying to find because I believe Michelle Williams was also original cast member in the original 90210. Tiffany Thiessen from Saved by the Bell.
Loved Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Anyway, some absolute icons in that original cast is
Yeah.
my point.
I just
Also,
think,
it was her before Tom Cruise, so she was like high spirits.
yeah, not crushed. Hey. Let's not. Well, let's. Yeah. So the sexual tension's uncomfortable. It won't end, unfortunately.
No, it never ends.
It never ends.
Coming back to it.
But the kind of what's happening is that Katie Holmes' character is like, I just want to be a normal girl and I just want to go to college, have a normal college time.
I just want to throw my bags in a car with a cooler of beer and drive away like a normal, boring girl.
We have some fun, like really like big kind of like R&B numbers.
The soundtrack
Yeah,
is one of the best parts of the film.
Yeah.
The soundtracks and the montages.
Yeah, there's
plural.
quite a lot of montages
Yeah.
in this. So we have a montage leaving DC and going to California.
Yes, I think the reason why the montages and the soundtrack is so good is because they're 2 elements that really have nothing to do with the script. As soon as
And also they're not speaking, so like amazing.
Yeah. We arrive at university I don't even recall the name of the university.
It was a made up name, I think.
Redmond?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And obviously there's loads of press there because it's the first daughter and she's going there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking into the university. And as Sophie mentioned, Michael Keaton has chosen to hold hands with his daughter. The wife just separate to them.
The wife just like kind of sadly her cold mother just like sadly walking behind, not involved.
Awful.
But like, as an 18-year-old, would one be holding hands with one's father?
No way. There's no way.
The idea of me walking into our first day, being dropped off in our uni halls.
That's what's crazy.
Holding hands with my dad, I would have rather died. Respectfully, God rest him to my father. But like, there's just no way.
No way.
Her being like, I just want to be a normal girl. Like, there's normal girls that hold hands with
I
their
just want to
dads.
be a normal girl. Then why are you dressed in business casual throughout this entire film?
Yeah. That she is done dirty by the styling team on this film.
Yeah. Some of them are like crazy. I thought we were going to have like a revamp and then she was going to change all her style.
We
saw that for one clip.
I thought we were going to have a Miss Congeniality moment.
Yeah.
Ready for like a makeover montage.
Yeah.
I really thought we were going to
Yeah.
get it. But no. And then there's also...
She was just like, I like these clothes. And we were like, well, you're wrong.
There's even it's just like, why are you dressed like you're 45? It's not that the clothes are bad. If she was a like corporate EA, the clothes would be great.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's in university. And there's even a comment made at one point where like a member of the public is like, I'm so glad you're dressing better now. And I'm like, nothing about her fashion has changed.
Nothing's changed.
There has been no evolution.
It's the same.
She just like occasionally wears hoodies now.
The odd time she'll be quirky.
Yeah.
Or she'll wear that bikini.
We'll get to the bikini. I've got thoughts. Amazing. We should talk about Bok and Dylan, her two security guards.
It's the way that also her friend flirts with them so much that I'm like, even this is uncomfortable for me. Like,
Yeah, so we meet Mia, her roommate.
Who again is an AI-generated best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who just is like a little bit sluttier and a little bit crazier than her.
And like making choices. Like Loki like does fuck on her first night of uni, which is iconic.
Iconic.
I don't even think she does. I think they're just kissing. Like, honestly, I swear, guys, I feel like the way they've written it is like these guys are just like good girlies.
No, I think Mia fucks.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Because even when that guy said, I like him, so I wouldn't kiss him. I'm like, this guy was just kissing in that room. This film's too PG.
Someone's getting fingered.
Yeah, I hope so.
I really hope so. Yes. So we have the first night of college. Mia, the housemate's like, the roommate's like, I kind of wanted to live with a normal person. Like, I want to have a normal college. Everyone's like, I want to have a normal experience. And to be fair, living with like if you, for example, like had to share halls with like a child of a prime minister.
It would be tough having Secret Service stationed outside of your dorm room. For sure.
Uni's where we make mistakes, and we learn.
Yeah.
And also just, sometimes just want to like watch Netflix on your laptop and like eat snacks and you don't want to be like, oh God, like what if there's like paparazzi outside?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there had been paparazzi present for our university experience?
I mean, there were digital cameras, which is devastating.
But all it
the
took,
Facebook albums, I have untagged my
I was about
hours.
to say, all it took was me deleting photos off of Facebook, and it's like my university experience no longer exists.
Same here. I deleted my whole Facebook because I was like, I cannot ever see this
I
again.
felt free
Yeah,
after I did
same.
it.
Same.
I was like, we need to strip these from the record because no one needs to see this. Awful. And also a really tough time fashion-wise for us all, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some times
Really
I was like,
bad.
I look great. But then majority of the time, it was not good.
I also loved the outfit where she was like, I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to like put on some denim cutoffs and a white vest. And that's going to be like totally crazy.
But she's also wearing stripper boots in that thing. Like, fair play. When she like has a little revenge moment, that's when I love her the most.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
we need to meet the man in question. So we're in just what we assume is some sort of English literature seminar with a fucking hot professor who I thought was going to be love interest.
I thought it was going to be love interest. I was like, okay, here we go. And I thought it was going to be I Kissed a Girl vibes.
Yeah.
No, first, Never Been Kissed.
Never Been Kissed, yeah.
Yeah.
And so like he's like, hey guys, settle down because no one's listening because everyone's like whispering about her. And then he goes, I know it's pretty, but I need you to listen. And I was like,
that's
pretty?
so inappropriate. So inappropriate. But that's when I thought this is the love interest.
Yeah. I was like, but I kind of fancy him.
100% he was hot. Yeah.
But it turns out that the cool guy who was heckling her in the who's in her lecture, but weirdly when we find out he's postgrad, like why would he have been there?
Oh, do we find out he's postgrad?
Because he's her RA.
I mean,
what's RA?
Residential advisor. So when you're in a dorm in America, you get like an older student, not always a graduate student, but like an older student who basically it's their job to like keep an eye on the freshmen. And like also you can like go to your RA with any problems.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Kind of like one stick.
Yeah. What does stick stand for again?
Second and third
year contact. That's what we had at our uni.
Really?
It'd be like, hi, I'm Max. I'm your stick.
Oh,
and like it'd be like Max and Lydia, and like we're gonna be here to like help you guys learn how to like party and fit in.
Fee got with my stick.
Who actually ended up being like kind of landed gentry.
Yeah, that was crazy. He was.
But then he played me off another girl in our year group.
No. Abuse of power.
I know.
He's also the only person with whom both me and Fee have double dipped.
Really?
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Really? Did you both know?
We also both got.
I forgot. I blocked him out.
Me too. I forgot that happened for many years.
Dear listener, there was once a time when I used to get with boys and it was a really dark time.
See, the thing is that Leigh looks back on it and she's like, wow, that was like really me like kind of grappling with my sexuality. Whereas I was just out there being like,
no.
I have low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Who wants to jump on board?
That being said, I feel like we can both relate to Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
In getting with her RA.
Yes.
Also, before we even got to that bit, do you know the bit I thought was crazy that she went and she was like, I need less security. And they're like, fine, we'll do it. And then she had the same amount of security, then plus this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
That was
like nothing changed.
That was crazy. Oh, so that all happens after the bikini party. So we should talk about the bikini party.
Yeah.
That's like
the... Oh, yeah, because we haven't met him yet.
No.
Yeah.
So we get invited to a bikini party.
To a frat party where swimsuits mandatory, bikinis encouraged, which in itself is insane. But I'm sure probably quite realistic to frat parties.
Mia arrives and she says something incredible, which is like, you've got to know how to make an entrance. And then like cannonballs.
That was awful. I hated that.
I really hated that for her because also it backfired and like no one really cared.
No one cared. And it was all like, what are you doing?
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was like, if you did that in real life, that would be awful.
So embarrassing. Also, like you've walked in with a full blow dry and you've just immediately ruined it.
That was insane.
Yeah.
That was insane behavior.
Again, AI generated best friend.
Yeah.
Kooky best friend.
In this scene, Samantha, Katie Holmes, is wearing this little blue bikini. So it's like a little triangle top, but then it's like a low rise, like almost like teeny boy short bottom, but like it's ruffled.
I loved it though. I will
gorgeous
say,
with a white kitten heel.
Amazing.
The kitten heel.
I loved the kitten heel. We loved her.
It is actually like an absolute wow of an outfit.
It was amazing. She looked incredible. Incredible.
And then one of the frat boys runs out with a water pistol and the Secret Service like take him down.
Okay. So first of all, there's a Hail to the Chief dance. Which is like almost like a weird striptease that the frat boys do, which was uncomfortable. I didn't like that.
Yeah. And it went on too long.
for too much screen time.
Katie Holmes, however, loving it.
She was loving
it.
Then we have the man, like the other frat boy, like running across. Now, he says water pistol. It was black.
It was a gun.
And looked like a handgun.
It was a
gun. So him crying like that was a water pistol, I think is crazy.
In America.
With the first daughter at the party. Like, crazy. So anyway, like I thought it was a real gun.
I did as well.
I was like, oh my God, get him. Oh my God, get him. We find out that her code name is Lucky Charm.
Really, I missed that, by the way.
Really cute code name.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact for this point: Michael Keaton's campaign slogan, because he's campaigning to be re-elected to come for a second term, is "Bring Mac back." Because I think his name's Mackenzie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bring Mac back. She gets smuggled seemingly back to Washington, which seems like...
So
No, they're campaigning.
They're campaigning. So I think there's like a throwaway line when she's being dropped off at college where they're like, and your dad's campaigning in the state for the rest of the week.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. I was like, they flew her back to DC to get told off by her dad. That's crazy. And there seems to be so many conversations about his use of air miles as well. Because he keeps flying his daughter back to shout at him. He talks about how disappointed he is at her while she's in a bikini.
And what's the line that he says?
I don't negotiate with people in bikinis.
Flirty.
And like, then he's like, no, come, like, let's sit down. And like, at no point is he like, have my jacket. He's just like, no, daughter, sit opposite me in this tiny bikini and kitten heels. What the fuck?
I will say, though, the way that she walks through his campaign office absolutely shamelessly in that bikini, I was like, okay, Katie Holmes, iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like, flaunt it, girl.
I just feel like it was definitely a man that wrote this. Like a straight man that was like,
really? Really? You think?
Oh my God, it does feel, now that you mention it, slightly like male gazy.
Just written by a born 3.
Yeah, literally.
With aspirations of being a 7. Being like, I think we should cast Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
I think she and I would really get on.
Let's find a way to put her in a bikini.
Yeah. So Katie Holmes is then like, I've got to get less Secret Service people, or I'm never going to be a normal, boring girl, because I'm just a normal, boring girl like everyone else.
I don't want 4 Secret Service agents. I only want 2.
So she gets 2, and Liz sends her back off to college with, go back to school. You're on a new diet, Secret Service light.
That's a great line.
And then she returns to college in the best outfit of
Was that the
film.
black
suit
blazer?
jacket?
Amazing, with the little shoes.
Just the teeny tiny bikini with the black suit blazer over the top and still in the white little kitten heels. And I was like, why is she not like absolutely being like stared at? And no one's paying any attention.
No one cared about that whole scene.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's giving Britney Spears in Crossroads when it's the night of the prom.
Whoa.
And she does the dance for... I can't remember the name of the actor who's in everything at that time.
Chad Michael Murray?
Not Chad Michael Murray. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to find out what his name is. Crossroads. 2002 film. She does the little dance for Justin Long, who you would recognize. He's in many, many, many films.
Yeah.
It's an amazing moment. She's like got this like little, I don't know why I think of this. I love Crossroads.
It's such a good
movie. But she does this little dance for him because it's prom night and they're like going to sleep together for the first time. And I just think that, and maybe this, ingrained in my mind that like the sexiest thing a woman could do is be in lingerie with a suit jacket over the top.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And I don't know if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
No.
You're not wrong.
No. Oh, this is just a moment of savagery about the fashion of Samantha in this film, which I think we should touch on, which is Samantha's like, I need to change. I don't want to ruin this outfit. And Mia says, it can only improve it.
Yeah.
Because she's, again, in a full button-down, black slack, kitten heel, and trench coat.
The trench
to like go to lectures.
To go down a water slide.
Leave the trench coat at home. But I will say, like, the absolute joy on Katie Holmes' face going down that water slide did kind of make me tear up a little bit, because I was like, yeah,
we used to have
freedom.
one of those when I was younger. Do you have one of those, you know, the big blue like mats, and you just ran and when I was watching I was like, I'll bring those back.
Yeah, you'll slip and slide.
I'd probably die doing that now.
I would probably break something, if not throw my back out.
Yeah, 100%.
But
wait, we got the scene in the college first where she meets the guy. She meets her love interest.
She meets her love interest, who he's a fully grown adult man.
He's 50.
He
has a mortgage.
In no way
family
passes for like an undergrad college student.
He doesn't pass for under 30.
No, not in any way. And I'm like, there's so many people you could have cast for this film. Why have we done this?
no disrespect to this actor. Also, no disrespect to the actor who plays the best friend, because I'm saying she's AI. That actress did as much as she possibly could have done with what was given to her. And this poor man, and it did make more sense when it was like, oh, he's an undercover agent. So like, actually the character is trying to pass as younger than he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, fully 35, if not 40.
Also, the scene where he's like, in the class and he says something, he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then afterwards, she's like, thanks for saving me. I had to rewind it to watch it again to be like, what? Like, I just feel like none of you just talked any sense in that whole scene. Like, how did he save you?
Yeah, she says, like, thanks for saving me. And I think he says something like, you don't seem like a girl that needs saving, which again, I think is an afterthought of this whole like fairy tale thing where it's like, you're not a princess that needs saving. Like, it's rough, and I think that's why it feels so forced, because they're like, oh, we should put that line in
somehow, because I was like, I just none of that made sense to me in any way.
We go down the water slide, and as they're climbing out of the water slide, really roguely, she Samantha like paws at Mia and like pulls down her trousers slightly, revealing her thong. And the Washington Post is obviously there.
The Washington Post
is at this slip and slide event.
Not People Magazine, not Heat. The newspaper that broke Watergate is reporting
on the slip and slide event
on Mia's thong.
Also, the bit when she came down the slip and slide and hit the hay, and then the guy, her love interest, just fell in and was like, "Oh, hey!" I was like, "So he's here now.
Good to see you." So that was intense.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Mia being thrilled that her ass was in the Washington Post.
She
takes it very well.
That. Yeah.
Obviously, Samantha's freaking out because she's like, "Oh, I asked for less security, and now my dad's gonna like be really upset with me. Why are you thinking about your dad so much?"
She's obsessed with him.
Also, Mia sees what's happening because Mia says, "Oval Office, Schmoval Office." At some point, every father.
Sorry. And once more with feeling.
I'll take that again from the top. Oval Office, Schmoval Office. At some point, every father has to let go of his little girl, and every little girl needs to let go of her father.
She saw it. She saw
sees
this relationship. She's like, this is not right.
At this point, Katie Holmes is staring at a photograph of her father. My father is dead, and yet I still have not ever lovingly held a photograph of him
moment
and stared at it.
Sad.
That's never happened.
It's so bad. And was this when their father called her and Mia answered the phone? Was this not this point?
There's a few points. I think this might be one where Liz is like, he won't talk to you. And she's like, oh my God, he won't even talk to me. It's like, why haven't you called your mum?
Literally call your mum. Call your mum.
Call your mum. Pick up the phone right now and call your mum.
I really thought at this point in the movie that she was going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. And go crazy and be like, I'm just going to rebel against it all. But the only rebellion was her wearing a bikini and then pulling the thong by accident. It was an accident.
Then we have the montage of her day out with James, where she wears the hoodie and the baseball cap, and everyone's like, "Where's she gone? We couldn't possibly recognize her."
Where the old woman came over and she was like, "Do you mind to have a photo?" I thought, because he was being coy. I thought this is where we're going to find out that he's actually really famous, and
that
she was going to ask for a photo
of
him.
A good movie,
because that was just that felt like that point of her, the old woman coming up. I mean, there was a point later on, but I was like, what is this about?
I was gagged by the reveal that he's a Secret Service agent.
Gagged.
But I feel like it came slightly too late because there were so many scenes leading up to that where I was like, the foreshadowing wasn't like, ooh, intrigue, like what's
the
his
foreshadowing
story?
Was just that he was uncomfortable.
It was just that it was weird. And I was like, what is James even alluding to ever?
I know.
What's James's secret?
I thought he was like a prince or something crazy.
That would have been such a better film. I just kind of thought that he was going to be like, this is too much for me. Like, I don't want to date you.
Yeah.
Like, respectfully, you can't just have what you want.
Understandably, because she kissed him once and then she love bombed him so hard. I was like, this is insane.
The love bombing actually was so toxic.
It was really toxic.
Her whole personality just switched and she was like, right, we're going away. I was like,
okay. I have two things about, actually maybe three things about that montage of them, like their big day.
Yeah.
One was the old lady just unprompted saying, your bosom came in very nicely. Which is crazy.
I do feel like, though, Chelsea Clinton did have crazy stuff like that said about her, like actively in the press. Yeah. Chelsea Clinton, I think she was 4. Don't quote me on this. I feel like Chelsea Clinton's whole teenage years, her dad was the president.
Oh, yeah.
And she like was at the height of her awkward phase, like at his first inauguration. And so I think people were vicious about her. Yeah.
The other thing from that montage that was crazy for me was James being like, it's like you're experiencing everything for the first time. I was like, she's not like a shut-in. Like, also, why are you so obsessed about her experiencing things for the first time, James?
Literally. Also, do you know what I was thinking? I was like, it's not like she's been born and her dad was the president. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, can we all just calm down?
And then
kind of weirdly implying that she has some kind of deep-rooted trauma or like Stockholm syndrome or something. It's like,
which she probably does.
She probably does because she's in love with her dad.
Which she's like,
then they eat popcorn and watch a movie.
That was also. Do you know what annoying about that is they went in through the side, they sat down, and they suddenly had popcorn on trees.
Yeah.
Unless we meant to believe they went and bought.
Oh, yeah.
That bit I was like,
a lady came and she was like, do you want anything? It was like a woman being like, anything from the trolley, dear.
And did they buy it?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
And he was like, sometimes you have to break the rules. You never know when you're going to get something inspired. It's popcorn. You're talking about putting popcorn and chocolate together.
Honestly.
That's kind of crazy.
Was the boat scene in this as well? The montage?
That comes
the
later,
rowboat
I
later.
think.
Okay, fine.
Why must we rowboat every time?
There are so many rowboats
in rom-coms.
readily available in rom-coms. And it's like, I've never rowboated with anybody in my life. And you know that rowboat, actually not in this film, but in every other film, is always going to end up being tipped over.
Always. This one was giving Notebook.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in a rowboat.
No one is going in rowboats. Stop putting it in films.
News just in. No one's going in rowboats anymore. Hot off the presses.
I will say there's another banging soundtrack moment over this montage, and also she is actively sprinting away from the press for this whole montage, and it did make me think, you know what, actually this is maybe an important piece of commentary on how horrendous it must have been to be like a famous young woman in
under
2004.
the microscope.
Yeah,
but kind of Katie Holmes' actual experience of life.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the bonfire.
Yeah, random.
There was a knight in armor on a horse. That was crazy.
Yeah. It felt like it was like a pep rally or something.
Yeah. I was like, what is happening here? And
it's unclear what part of the term we're in.
Yeah. And in their argument, just felt like they needed to slot that in. They were like, we'll just have an argument here.
They're like, oh, Mia and Sam need to have an argument at some point.
Let's
which
just do it.
Was kind of intense because I feel like So Mia went off the deep end and was like, everyone can party in our room, and then was like vandalizing Sam's stuff, which is crazy. That is crazy.
So what happens is Mia has a boy from home who also goes to their university who, quote, she says, I've loved him since spandex was in, which is incidentally my favorite quote of the film. And so he comes over to say hey. They're meant to hang out at the bonfire. He comes over to say hey, and he greets Samantha first because obviously it's the first daughter, and he's like introducing himself, whereas he already knows Mia.
Yeah.
And then Mia runs away angry, and he's like, we were supposed to hang out. And then she hosts a party in their dorm room and is vandalizing, as you say, a photograph of Samantha with her parents.
Putting devil horns on them, which I think is really funny.
It's always all about you, Sam.
And you're like, yeah, she is the first daughter of the United States of America.
Yeah.
But then I think Sam comes back with a very firm argument.
Yeah, I agree. I was on her side fully.
And like, she was very close to slut-shaming her.
Yeah.
But like, I think towed the line quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Which was just like, look, if you want to do these things, you do these things. But like, don't then come at me when you're seeing the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
And if you like the guy, tell him that you like him rather than kissing other people.
Exactly.
It was girlhood.
It just felt like that argument, there could have been more. But it felt like there wasn't enough tension between them. And we didn't know enough about that girl being jealous. Like, there was like the odd comment and stuff, but I was like, this just feels so random.
It's because we spent no time with either of them, so we don't really know who they are.
No.
I mean, arguably, we spend the whole film with Samantha, yet we know nothing about her.
We know nothing.
But I think you're so right, Sophie. I think, like, ultimately, that's how you can tell this film was not written by someone who's ever been a teenage girl. Because you just have to know those, like, best friend fights they are brewing and
Yeah.
stewing
Exactly.
for months.
Mhm.
But you would not have an incident happen one night and then have the argument later that same
No.
evening. That's how boys fight. Girls, I'm being so binary about
it's
this right
so
now.
true.
Yeah.
But girls, that shit is like a long running drama.
Exactly.
It's like a bubbling undercurrent
Yeah.
for 2 to 3 years
Exactly.
before the fight actually happens.
And then it will be like at a completely different event when a different thing has happened, like someone's knocked a drink
Exactly.
over, and then you're like, where the fuck is Mia? Like, absolutely losing her shit about knocking this drink over.
100%.
And Mia will be like, it's because 3 years ago when we were in college, he greeted you before he greeted me. That is...
They should have saved their argument for the second film.
Yeah,
I
that's the
think.
female
Yeah.
experience.
It did kind of weirdly feel like they were setting up for a sequel at some parts of this film.
Honestly, I think so because they didn't answer anything.
I think because there was no actual plot.
Yeah, there was no plot.
We then, I think, there's another moment where
She sleeps on the sofa and then she sees James and she's upset that James didn't come.
Yes.
And James is like, I'm sorry I didn't come. And he's like, you're going to tell her why. Is
Mm.
he?
He's
It
like
was
on the
really
edge of it.
But then he goes, I said that thing about funny business. He was like, what did you say about funny business? And then he was interested.
The quote is, note to fathers worldwide, in order to keep your daughters from getting any action, become the president. Incredibly presumptive from Samantha that she was going to get some action at the
Literally.
bonfire.
Why are you
Literally.
thinking about your daughter getting action?
But it's the way, right? It's the way, as soon as she said that, he was like, you wanted some action? And then he was interested.
Yeah.
But-
I think for me, there's a I don't know if it's to her dad or to James. There's an amazing quote. It's my favorite quote of the entire film from Samantha, where she goes, the last time I had privacy, I was in utero.
Oh, yeah.
That is this scene to James.
And
yeah.
I think that's the best line of dialogue ever written in any film ever.
But again, to your point, Sophie, he's
Not
only been the
possible.
president for 4 years.
Exactly.
I mean, I think they kind of say he was like a governor before that, but it's not like the world's
Right?
media would care about a governor's
Exactly.
daughter.
Then they don't care. Like, Samantha, no one cares.
I know in your mind you've been a celeb since you were born. That doesn't mean that that's the reality
It's
of
been
what's
3
happened.
years. It's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years. And like before then, no one would have known who you were.
Yeah.
There's then another montage with James where we go on in the rowboats and
that.
we go to the fair. And
Yeah,
she's
and
like
he
eating candy and
showed
floss,
me.
and she's like, wow, I've never been outside.
This is so normal. I've never felt more myself.
Like you've been to a fairground.
But again,
Literally.
Come on, babe.
She says, oh, I need to go and change before we go out. And she then puts on a kind of Mother of the Bride-esque ensemble.
I don't even remember this outfit.
She puts on like a below-the-knee dress
No.
and a cardigan.
To
go on this date.
cardigan.
And you know when you're like,
Do you want to
What?
get fucked?
Literally.
a
What are you
jeans and a
doing?
t-shirt, hun, would be better.
Jeans and
and
a
a t-shirt.
Was this when she walked past and there was the big like protest? Have we missed, and there's that
We've
like,
missed the
oh,
protest, I
fine.
think.
That bit, again, I was like, maybe she's going to say something really profound. And it's just like, whatever.
I think
Yeah.
the secret of the film is that Samantha actually has nothing to say.
That's the real takeaway.
She has nothing to say.
She has nothing to say. We drop in about her charm bracelet at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And he
hated that
gives
bit,
and
by
he
the
gives her
way.
the charm, and it was so forced. I was
Yeah.
like, we need to give up on this. Like, oh, her code name's Lucky Charm, and she has
Yeah.
a charm bracelet, and she's like, my dad got me all these charms. Do you think his wife has a charm bracelet?
I also found it really, no, she doesn't.
She
I
doesn't.
found it really annoying that when she said that, she's like, I'm like, you're going on about being a normal girl and you cannot shut the fuck up about your dad. Like,
Yeah, stop
move
talking.
on.
Stop talking about your dad with your
The
new
way
boyfriend.
she never talks about her mum,
Doesn't
literally
mention her.
never
The-
brings her
doesn't
The
up.
first
mention her.
lady is not present.
The first lady is,
It's cold.
I think, on a lot of Valium.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
That's
hope
the
she's
vibe.
okay.
Yeah.
I hope she's okay. Should we talk about the surprise trip on Air Force One?
Yeah.
That was at this point
Yeah.
in the film, I was like, this is just lost the plot.
I transcended to a
because
higher
this is
plane.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was like, no, can we actually just talk about the fact that they pecked? They literally pecked, wasn't even a proper kiss. And next day, she's flying them away.
They have been on one official date. They went on one accidental date and one on purpose date. And she is now taking him on Air Force One.
Insane.
With Mia. Mia's
just like, yeah, this is fucking great.
Yeah. I was surprised. And then takes him shopping. And it's just like the whole thing is also, do you know what I hated? Because she was like acting the whole time. I was like, I'm this sweet little girlie. She gets on that fucking plane. She's like getting her feet done. She's like, you're right over there, James.
She likes the high life. Stop pretending she wants to be normal. She's a bougie girl.
Right? Just own it.
She's just like, yeah, daddy's just going to send me Air Force One and we're going to go shopping. Sorry, do you know my friend Vera Wang? Sorry, cameo from Vera Wang.
I simply have been itching to discuss the Vera Wang cameo. Vera Wang was out here cameoing all over the shop in the 2000s.
Was she in Bribe Wars? Was it that of Vera Wang?
Yes. Yeah. Also, she I believe helps Charlotte in Sex and the City dress shop for her wedding dress. Yeah.
Vera she was in like all of the films.
She's like, I'm available.
Yeah.
For a fee.
I will be there for literally any film under the sun. A girl needs a dress, I'm there.
It's incredible marketing.
Yeah. It was good marketing. Because I remember thinking, wow, that's a bougie brand. It worked.
It worked. We then, as a casual thing that you would do on a second date, take said boy and just your best friend who you've brought along to meet your parents, the first family of the United States.
At a ball.
At a ball.
Just an undisclosed ball. We never actually know what this event is.
No idea.
Or who it's for.
And the bit when she goes, and this is my and
she goes to boyfriend him.
That was the bit I was like, you're unhinged.
This is the toxic love bombing.
Once.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And when he acted weird, obviously we know now why.
But I thought it was
like,
because of that.
He's like, you're crazy.
I thought it was because he was like, this is too much. Like, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
He needed to be more uncomfortable about being there.
Yeah.
Moment of conjecture when Mia is introduced to Sam's parents. Just another nail in the coffin for Michael Keaton. He goes, the one in the thong. And she goes, yeah. So you remember
just no way. There's just no way that as the president of the United States, that's what you would lead with when meeting your daughter's best friend from college. Like,
Donald Trump would definitely lead with that.
Yeah. Oh God. So that's crazy. Then they just flawlessly waltz for a while.
Hated that bit so much because I love a little rom-com and I love the romance.
But that was too much.
It was so uncomfortable. I was like, just sit down and eat your meal.
Yeah.
Also, like nobody else is dancing. Like,
right?
Just sit down.
Please. In theory, every government person that is there knows
that he's a secret agent.
James is a secret agent. Yeah. So why is the dad not like, what the fuck are you doing?
This is what I've got to say about this when it comes out. I've got a real big thing that I'm desperate to talk about, right?
Like that, no wonder he was uncomfortable. Is that he's like there being like, all right, John, all right, Steve, good to see you guys.
It all comes out after that scene. She finds out and is like, gasp. And later that evening, she goes into her dad. She's like, I can't believe you did that to me. I'm so upset. At that point, I thought the dad realised that he was paying him to be the boyfriend. Because, she's like, I can't believe everyone knew.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knew what? Because then later she got in trouble for it.
Yeah, so I'm confused.
That was so confusing. Everyone knows that you're friends. Like, what? That made no sense.
I think he was being paid to be like a plainclothes Secret Service agent who was supposed to follow her around.
And like lightly befriend her.
And lightly befriend her in order to always be where she was.
Right.
Which feels like a flawed plan from the beginning.
Insane. But also that point when she's like, Dad, everyone knew. In my head, she's thinking, well, everyone knows that I'm dating this man because she was like, oh, I'm my boy. And okay, she didn't get a chance to say it, but it was very much like, this is my romantic interest. So then later when she gets in trouble for it, I was like, this makes no sense.
I mean, we can't really pull at any threads plot-wise in this film because it will fall apart.
Again, written by AI.
The reveal of James as the secret agent, I do have to admit that
amazing.
I screamed. I stood up and I went, oh my God. I genuinely said that.
Kind of crazy that not one of us saw that coming.
Nope.
Because, wow, what else could it have been, really?
So they're trying to leave the ball and there's like loads of protesters and like press there and it's like the cameras are flashing and it's all getting like really overwhelming. And then like a car like rams the crowd, which is
so random.
Really
but
intense.
Also, I had a question about that because was the car supposed to have hit her? Because the car was clearly miles away.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why Katie Holmes fell to the ground. Like, what hit her? The car didn't.
No, I think just the shock.
Oh, she just kind of like
I think she swooned.
And then he picks her up, and that was sexy when he ran with
Yeah,
her.
it was a
And I
bodyguard
didn't
moment.
know at that point. I was like, wow.
I was like, oh my God, this guy, like he's coming
Yeah.
through. And then he puts her into the car, like he runs through the building and she like looks at him like, wow, like I love you.
Yeah.
And he like lifts up his sleeve and he's like, lucky charm secured.
That bit of acting, I will say, was amazing.
Yeah.
And the way he lifted up, wow.
And
Like,
then he closes the door on her.
really sexy as well, the whole
Yeah.
thing. Wow.
And drives away. And I was gagged.
Yeah.
that was the one plot point
Yeah,
of the whole
amazing.
film.
And then
Amazing.
the film just could have ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
done.
I was kind of done,
Done.
really, at that.
And then after that, she storms into her dad, really upset. Then she's like, basically has to leave university at this point, leave college.
Not quite yet.
What happens after
She
that?
goes back, and then Mia's like, no, his feelings for you were real. We need to make him jealous. Which
Oh, I
then
Love that.
this.
Yeah. And then so then we have the kind of
Amazing.
crazy montage of her
The
like
morning
acting
after
out.
pill.
So weirdly they don't fire him at that point. They make him just one of her general Secret Service
Yeah.
agents, which is a crazy staffing choice to make.
Insane.
And that's when we have my second favorite quote, which is, I'm here for my
Oh, yeah,
birth
'cause
control
everyone there will
appointment.
know that he was like Secret Service.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that.
And then she goes on like a terrible date and he's got to like stand next to them.
Yeah.
Again, that wouldn't happen.
Can I just say, Katie Holmes is supposed to be like making him jealous, being really flirty with this date that she's on. And the joke that she's making to like be
What was
sexy on this date is, okay, how do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie into it.
I didn't know I missed that. That's
so
awful.
bad. That's so
I'm-
awful.
Horrified.
Was that what she said to him on the thing?
On the date.
No.
That's how she's trying to make James jealous,
That's
is with this
amazing.
comedy about snot.
Also, again, her personality's completely changed to being this really confident woman that's like, it's just like they've had 3 different personalities throughout this whole film.
Dare I say, with the most love and respect to Katie Holmes, her performance also is kind of AI generated.
Very,
It could
very.
be a bosh throughout this
I
film.
think she's just like, I'm getting through this.
I think it's the
realistically.
only film I've ever seen her in.
Batman?
Yeah, I would have seen
Was
her
she
in Batman.
Batman?
Was she in Batman?
Not with her dad.
I think she gets recast.
Really?
I think she's in one and then they change it to Natalie Portman. Am I wrong?
I think you could be correct, actually. Katie
Because I'm
Holmes.
like, she's so famous, obviously because of Tom Cruise. But I'm like,
Yeah.
she's never been in anything.
I think it's because I think she's like a teen star from
Right,
being in
okay,
90210.
Yeah,
fine.
she was in the
Fine.
first. It was in the Christopher Nolan Batmans, and she was in the
Right.
first one, and then they recast her. I think she was terrible.
Wow, yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
sorry, hun. Yeah.
I do love her though.
Can I just say an absolute classic line from James during this montage, which I think they thought was a real serve when they
Yeah.
wrote it, is if things were different, I'd still follow you around all the time because I wanted to, not because I had to.
That's such a rom-com line.
That's
Oh.
it's horse shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolute horse shit. She does get drunk. She wears the little stripper
Yes,
boots and the
great
tiny
outfit.
tiny
Is
shorts.
she in, I feel like they're dressed as Pamela Anderson there.
I think that's the vibe that
Yeah.
she's going for.
Is it Pamela
And she gets
Yeah.
like really drunk and like gets up on the bar and like there's paparazzi shots and stuff.
Yeah.
And somehow she's drunk even though she's not 21. And that's the point where James gets fired.
Yes.
And that's the bit where when it got to this point of the film, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't understand anything anymore. Because I was so confused. I thought they all knew that he was her boyfriend. And then they were like, he's fired because they found out he's your boyfriend. And I was like, you were upset because there was a picture in the paper, but you saw them dance together.
Yeah, you know
They were
what's been going
dancing
on.
together.
And also like he's actively like
What?
trying to get her back to her accommodation. Like anyway, then she drops out of college because her dad's like, you need to help me win my campaign.
Because
Crazy behavior.
I've dropped 8 points in the polls from you
Because of
dancing
you?
on a bar.
Maybe
8
it's
points.
because you're not a good politician and you want to have sex with your daughter.
And
I
it's
think
the
that's
whole
fine.
thing about like domestic policy they keep saying, and she's just like, home.
But they just keep saying domestic
That's it.
policy.
There's
They don't
nothing
say
else.
anything actually about what
That
the
really
policy
mad.
is.
And
That's
I'm like, what are they talking about?
they just
It
saying the
is-
phrase domestic policy. They don't know what they're talking about.
This was written by someone who doesn't understand American politics.
It's like I wrote this. That's how I feel. I feel like this is my level.
I feel like this was like an assignment that I did at school.
Yeah.
Also,
that got out of hand.
The editing at this point in the film becomes very strange because they just have a cutaway shot to James just washing his face in a public bathroom. And then they just like fade slowly out of it.
Into her in bed being brought cake by her dad.
Oh, again,
stop bringing her cake. And she's like, I don't want it. I don't want your cake, Dad. You fired my boyfriend. Then just he's won the election. Like time passes.
By the way, I completely missed that he'd even won it. So I saw that in your notes and I was like, wait, missed that completely.
And then he wins. And then there's like the inaugural ball.
At the inaugural ball, I would say, is when Katie Holmes now, I believe, is on Valium at the inaugural ball. Her Samantha has
left the building.
But Samantha has left the building.
Yeah.
In the time between him winning the election and his inaugural ball, she has been put onto Valium because her whole performance, from the moment that like James arrives, she's obviously wearing her like gorgeous gown. They're waltzing again.
The gown.
Yeah,
the gown is beautiful. But by the time James arrives at the inaugural ball, she's like,
James,
hi,
you came back.
You're back.
But like, why is he back? Like, that's so weird.
Comes back, has a dance, goes.
Comes back, has a dance, goes, I bought you a car. And also, roguely, somehow all of your belongings are in it.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just gets in the car and drives away. And that's the end of the film.
And we have to assume that and then, no, they wait, one comment to him being like, I heard she'll be back in the summer.
And he's like, ooh, goody.
I think it's time that we wrap up this discussion of this ridiculous film.
Should we go to the quick fires, Leigh?
Best fashion for you, Sophie, in the film?
Okay, it's between two, the purple dress at the end and the black blazer with the pinstripe and the little kitten heels.
You know what? It was actually sparser for best fashion in this film than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting it was going to be like fun, girly.
Yeah, same.
Fashion show. No, the clothes were... I'm going to say shit.
So, the inaugural ball dress was amazing. Like, it's very of its time, like, very satin, like, heavy, like, gown. But it was with matching, like, elbow-length gloves, which looked incredible, and an updo. And then, for me, though, I would like to say a kind of honorable mention to Mia, the roommate's, like, cupcake pajama top. And, like, she has this little eye mask that's, like, zebra print with, like red like feather trim.
Oh, that's cute. I missed that.
Which she wears on her forehead when she's on the phone to the president, which again is an amazing moment.
I would also like to just like give a shout out to that actress who was playing Mia because she was really trying to put in the work to hold up this film. And you know, she could only do so much with the material that she was given, but she was really putting in a shift, I think, with this film.
And it must have been tough reading the script and being like, oh, I guess I make another sexual comment about a man in his 50s.
Yeah.
Literally.
What was the queerest moment that you think was never intended to be queer?
I think the whole film, because Samantha reminded me of you, Leigh.
That is so insulting.
I just felt like, I don't know why. I was like, I felt like I was watching this.
I felt
She's
like
an AI-generated woman, Sophie. Moving swiftly on.
It was just the way she held herself. Like,
to be fair, the kind of like... No, I say this with love. Leigh, I say this with love. I say this with so much love.
When did this podcast turn into a personal attack?
But you know when you've had a couple of alcoholic beverages?
When I'm drunk. That's fine. Yeah.
And you're like, and you get into the dancing and it's sort of very like kind of, it's a very jerking kind of movement. That was kind of like the element of Samantha that I think we saw you in.
Fine.
For me, I think it was the kind of like scampering around the halls of the White House and like eating chocolate cake. It's just very like, I don't know. It just felt very like slumber party and like a kind of, obviously without the predatory dad.
I think for me, it was tough going for this film because it was potentially the straightest film ever made.
Truly.
Very straight.
I think if I was going to try and find anything anywhere, I'd say there was maybe a touch of a queer moment in Mia and Sam's fight in the dorm room.
If they were better, closer friends and we'd seen their friendship blossom, then yes, maybe, I would have been that. Which is like, why are you so jealous of each other? Like, why do you want to protect each other so much? Is it because you're in love? That's what I wanted, but we couldn't quite. You're so right. This is a deeply hetero film.
It was very, very straight.
Man, I feel like a man.
What does that mean?
like, what is the most male moment of the film? Like the most boys will be boys moment.
Oh, I feel like there was so many. The bit when the boys are doing that, just like that dance for her, and then they pick her up on the thing.
Yeah.
They were picking her up, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's just such a man thing to do.
And they were all wearing like American flag board shorts.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah.
I think for me, it does have to go to, if things were different, I'd still follow you around. Not because I had to, but because I wanted to. It's just like, oh, you're really trying for some emotion there, James, aren't you?
That actor was digging deep.
There was no emotion.
And the well was
James.
empty. Water would not come forth. For me, I really enjoyed Michael Keaton turning mid-campaign to his daughter, who he's made drop out of college and fired the boyfriend that he like put in place to like hoodwink her, and going, there's a lot at stake, Sam. I really need you to act like a grown-up right now.
Also, at one point, Michael Keaton kind of treats her as if she is like a policy advisor.
Yeah.
Because he asks her her opinion. She says, I have no opinions, which is true to the character. And then she says something extremely generic where she's like, well, there's nothing more important than home.
Literally.
And then in his like acceptance speech, he's like, a very smart person recently impressed upon me the importance of home. And it's like, she said one very generic
thing. They
thing.
implied by her saying that meant they won the whole campaign. Because they were like protesting before about domestic policy, I'm guessing about home. I feel like that was then her later saying it to him, and that's why they won. I'm like, what? Like one comment.
It's crazy. And speaking of crazy, Leigh, what made you proud to be an American, this film? What in this film made you proud to be an American?
I think what you put in the shared doc, and I couldn't agree more, there was very little that made me proud to be an American in this film, but I think the main takeaway for me is I'm here for my birth control appointment.
That was my favourite line. My favourite line.
Yeah.
Because that was quite edgy for the film. And I was like, oh, okay.
And I was like, America, get some.
Roe v. Wade. Sophie, where can our listeners find you?
Where can they find me? On Instagram and TikTok and actually YouTube. Not that I post there much, but Sophie Garrad, Garrad. And then I'm going to be doing a show at the Fringe called Poor Little Rich Girl. And I'm going to do some previews actually in London and some in Brighton actually, but this might go out. No, in Brighton in July, London in June. No, what comes after July?
August.
Ignore that. July, London and Brighton.
Yeah.
And then August, Edinburgh.
Amazing.
With a full month. It's your
month.
stand-up debut.
I know, terrifying. I'm actually so excited, but then I remember last year we did it together.
Yeah.
I remember the first day we were like, this is actually really hard.
Yeah.
So I'm scared for that realization again.
It'll be fun. We'll have fun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for showing me this film.
Any closing thoughts on First Order?
I just think you have to watch it because, yes, it might have 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, but really, it's an amazing film.
And sometimes those 8% films are the films we need in a particular moment.
And I needed it.
And they are the films that will stay with us whether we want them to or
not. We are Queer Gals Watch, wherever you get your socials. You can also email us, queergalswatch@gmail.com. We are also very grateful to everyone who supports us on our Patreon.
Please pop on and just have a little look at what's happening on there. It's a really fun vibe. We've got a really great community there, and we really love everyone who supports us on Patreon. They help us do this.
Yes.
And without them we just couldn't. So we're super grateful. And I think Leigh and I are going to come back again and do another little movie special next week.
Yes. I believe next week we will be watching Red, White and Royal Blue. And I'm very excited to just have some kind of gay Prince action.
Yeah. Sexy. Okay, bye.
Bye.